All right, let's talk about loneliness, but probably not in the way you're used to hearing about it. We're not going to treat it like some problem you need to solve or some failure you should be ashamed of. No, today we're going to look at it as a powerful, maybe even necessary stage of life. And just maybe it's a sign that you're finally doing something right.
So, why are you feeling so alone? Does that question hit home for you? You know that feeling? You check your phone, no new messages. The weekend rolls around, no plans. There's this emptiness, this isolation, and you can't help but wonder, is there something wrong with me? But what if I told you that feeling isn't some random coincidence? It's a consequence.
And this right here is the core of what we're digging into. This idea completely flips the script on the whole experience. It suggests that the pain you're feeling, it's not a symptom of failure. It's a signal that you're transforming. The real question is, why? Okay, so how on earth can this pain be a positive signal? Well, it all starts with understanding that this sense of isolation is a direct result of your own personal evolution. It's actually a sign of growth. Just think about it for a second. This feeling shows up when you stop fitting into those shallow, surface-level conversations. It happens when your priorities start to shift, when you realize that mediocrity just isn't going to cut it for you anymore. Your growth literally creates a gap between you and the people around you. And yeah, that gap can feel incredibly lonely.
So, what about all those people you used to be close with? What happens to them? Well, this is where a process I like to call the great filter kicks in. And you have to understand this. Losing people is not a failure on your part. It is a natural and, frankly, a necessary filtering process.
Let's be brutally honest here. A lot of relationships, maybe most, are based on convenience. You're useful to them, you're entertaining, you give them validation. But the second you start prioritizing your own mission, your own growth, you suddenly stop being so useful. And that's when they vanish, revealing that it was never a true connection to begin with. You see? This shift in perspective is everything. Instead of blaming yourself, you start to see the truth of those relationships. You didn't lose something valuable, you just revealed what was already there. Or, more accurately, what wasn't there. So you filtered out the noise. The fair-weather friends are gone. What now? Well, this is the most critical part of the entire journey. It's about using this time of solitude not as some kind of punishment, but as your own personal workshop to build something inside of you that is absolutely indestructible. The end goal here is what we call mental independence. Machiavelli himself wrote that a prince must learn to be alone, not just physically, but mentally. It's all about forging a core so strong that you are no longer swayed by the opinions, the judgments, or even the absence of other people. And that feeling of emptiness, it's not a void, it's withdrawal. Your brain has gotten used to all those little hits of approval from others, and now that they're gone, you're feeling the crash. But just like any detox, going through it is the first essential step to breaking an addiction for good. And in this quiet space, you learn things that a crowd could never, ever teach you. You discover your authentic self. You figure out what you truly want, not what you've been told to want. And you learn to trust your own gut, your own judgment, without all that constant noise from the outside world. This right here is the ultimate payoff. When you no longer need those little crumbs of attention or company just to feel whole, you become truly free. You can't be bought, you can't be coerced, you can't be manipulated, because there's nothing they can threaten to take away from you. That is real power. But listen, this journey isn't all sunshine and self-discovery. This period of solitude, this desert you're crossing, it presents a critical choice. Machiavelli had no patience for victims, and this is where you come face to face with your own inner demons. On one hand, it can be your forge, the place where you hammer yourself into something stronger, clearer, and more resilient than ever before, a place of intense, powerful creation. Or it can be the place where you bury yourself in self-pity and bitterness. The choice, and the responsibility that comes with it, is entirely yours. So you really have two paths. You can choose resentment, and that's the poison of self-pity, of blaming the world for your problems and choosing to stay a victim. Or you can choose responsibility. That's the antidote. You get curious, you take ownership, and you start building your own world, right in the middle of all that silence. And really, that's the bottom line. Fortune favors those who act, those who move, when everyone else is frozen in fear. This period of solitude is your chance to be bold, to use this time to build, instead of letting it consume you. So what happens when you finally cross that desert? when you come out the other side? Well, the whole journey ends in this beautiful, powerful paradox. A completely counterintuitive reward for all that hard work you did in the silence. I mean, we've all seen this, right? Desperation is repellent. When you frantically chase after people, when you need their validation just to feel okay, you inadvertently push them further and further away. But when you stop needing people, something incredible happens. When your happiness and your sense of self-worth are no longer dependent on anyone else, you become magnetic. People are drawn to that kind of independence. It's deeply attractive. This leads to a total redefinition of what social success even is. So stop chasing love and start earning respect. And you earn it by building that unbreakable core we talked about, by having principles, by being self-sufficient. And this is the real game changer. The quality of people who are drawn to this new, unbreakable you is completely different. You'll stop attracting parasites who just want to be entertained, and you'll start attracting allies, people who are on their own path of growth and who respect you for yours. So, in the end, this period of being alone, it was never a punishment. It was a crucible. It was the necessary fire that burned away everything that was weak, every excuse, everything that was holding you back, leaving only what is essential, what is strong, and what is true. This solitude has prepared you. It has given you clarity and strength and true independence. You've made it through the fire. So the only question that really matters now is this one. What are you going to build?